I've got some very interesting news for you today. Today's the 29th of May 2019, and we're going to start with some factors of why investors might be coming back to BTC, investing in BTC, which also explains why the price is rising so much. Then we'll continue with some new crypto rankings from BTC, US, Tron, Ethereum, and so on. We'll continue with big businesses will probably push the price a lot higher because of FOMO. And when businesses start FOMOing into the cryptocurrency space, then it's going to be difficult to catch the price as it goes up. Then this is actually very interesting news, and it's about the Bahamas central bank enters an agreement to deliver the first national digital currency of 2020. So that's going to be interesting. Then you continue with Indonesia to improve its shipping industry. IOTA is finally killing the centralized coordinator, and I think that's fantastic. And we're going to top it up with Project Libra, everything that is known about it. I'm Kieran from Crypto Bulls, and I'm really happy to have you here with me today. Hope you had a great day, and to grab a beer and enjoy this video. I'll cut to the chase and get started. So BTC, Bitcoin investors return to BTC market, may be attributed to multiple factors and probably FOMO, but let's see what he says. Bitcoin's price surge has caught the eye of proponents and critics alike, with many supporters claiming that the next bull run has arrived. In the latest CNBC Fast Money segment, panelists discussed the significant rise of the world's largest cryptocurrency as well as the implications of the price rise. Now, the panelists stated that the Bitcoin summer was back as the cryptocurrency was close to hitting the $9,000 mark for the first time since April 2018, which is very good growth and definitely a lot more positive than many analysts were predicting in January and February, where they were believed that the price of BTC would tank much lower. Everything can happen, but let's see. So definitely FOMO, a lot of speculation is happening, which is increasing the price a lot faster. And Tim Seymour, Chief Investment Officer of Seymour Asset Management, added that there are a lot of factors that can be attributed. We are at a place where the weak sellers have left the market, with another critical point being the Chinese yuan versus Bitcoin graph. The graph, if you looked at it, was inverted, making a trend change in the world's biggest cryptocurrency asset. People need to analyze the market other than just Bitcoin. Ethereum has gone up by 220% this year, while Litecoin has also gone up a whopping 440%, and BNB as well is also on fire. So of course there's many markets now that are different countries, people in different countries are becoming more and more bullish towards cryptocurrency, especially with the declining stock market. That would definitely have an effect on investors looking to diversify their assets, maybe to hedge against losses in the stock market, maybe look for something else. And since, as we have seen in the last few weeks, the cryptocurrency market is in strong discorrelation, like it moves in a negative correlation towards the stock market, which is it's good, especially if you've got some profits in the stock market and you want to maybe diversify and hedge against the plummeting stock market. But of course, it's up to each investor. Now, the new crypto rankings, I think that's interesting. New crypto rankings lift Bitcoin, US, Tron, and Ethereum, and are not so happy about Litecoin, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and Cardano. So China's Center for Information and Industry Development, CCID, has released its latest ranking of 35 crypto projects. So I'm not sure what I should think about that, since China is not one of the most crypto-friendly countries out there. And at the moment, Bitcoin is being traded there without a problem, but we've had some news in the past with China banning different cryptocurrencies and trading not being legal at all. So it's very interesting. So I think this ranking should be taken with a grain of salt, but it's also possible that a lot of things are happening behind the scene, but I don't want to speculate too much on that. So Bitcoin, which ranked number 15th position on their March list, is now on the 12th spot. I'm not sure if that's to do with price increase, but an improvement the agency attributes to the risk of the 0.18.0 version of Bitcoin Core. Bitcoin scored higher than any other coin in the creativity evaluation, but only had middle scores in the basic tech and applicability sections. But it's of course got a first mover's advantage, which people know it, and probably will be the first coin that people are buying, since they don't know any other cryptocurrency coins, or at least the people I've asked, and also random people on the street. Other cryptocurrency coins are not as known as BTC. Okay, maybe among the bankers XRP is well known, but apart from them, not many people know anything apart from BTC. So the list shuns a number of coins in the top 10 market cap, including XRP, Litecoin, BTC Cash, and Cardano. According to a translated press release from the agency, the basic technology mainly assesses the level of technical realization of the public chain. The main points of investigation include the functionality, performance, safety, and decentralization. So this is here's their sub-index with evaluation, with EOS at a very high, actually the top ranking, and Tron is on second place, and you've got Ethereum, Steam, Ontology, Lisk, and Ontology should be actually moving towards the EOS blockchain. That's the last thing I heard about it. Lisk, BitShares, Neo, GX Chain, Nebula, Stellar, and Bitcoin. And yeah, it's quite interesting, but I wonder if there's some bias towards maybe coins that are developed in China or have more focus towards China, but I'm not sure. I think the whole list should be definitely taken with a huge handful of salt and not just taken at face value. I'll link the article down below if you want to look at it in detail. But yeah, keep in mind that since they're not the most crypto-friendly nation, I'm wondering what their incentive is to make such a list, and maybe they've got big plans, and we'll figure it out. They've been developing something behind the scenes, and we'll find it out in the next few months. But I don't know, it's just pure speculation. I'm not going to go down that road. Let's continue with something more interesting, and that's BitPay CCO believes big businesses will push Bitcoin's price even higher. And of course, the more larger investors, big financial institutions enter the, not only financial institutions, but all different types of companies enter the blockchain market, either to trade digital assets or use cryptocurrencies as a utility to improve their services. There will definitely be a crypto run in the next 2-3 years, and as soon as that happens, a lot of money is going to enter the market, and that's going to make a big difference than the retail investors that are buying half a BTC here and there, or other coins. So a lot of a lot of company funds coming into the market is going to definitely reduce the volatility, hopefully. So a senior executive at cryptocurrency payments processor BitPay told Bloomberg on the 29th May that BTC will only expand higher from its current price, and his reasoning, the TV company's chief commercial officer Sonny Singh said it was businesses' interest and endorsement of cryptocurrency that was fueling the current market-wide bull run. Of course, they've got the financial means to push the price up or push the price down at mainly the cost of retail investors. You're starting to see that these currencies have real use cases around the world, and it's making people look excited because they can see the light at the end of the tunnel for these use cases. And at the beginning there's deniability that BTC and other cryptocurrency utilities are useless, but as adoption is coming, it's coming faster than I was expecting, and with so much positivity and good news coming in, it's no wonder that bigger companies are moving in to make sure that they don't get left behind, because that will definitely be the case with companies which are not going to be moving in the direction of BTC. If their competitors are moving into that direction, then they're going to be left behind, that's for sure. So as more plans become reality, Bitcoin can only stand to profit from the increased exposure and mainstream dominance. For regulators, a double standard which favors private cryptocurrency but outlaws decentralized ones is now impossible. How is the regulator going to show that JP Morgan, but Bitcoin and Ethereum we don't like? Singh stated, it's going to be hard. They're going to have to make a classification, digital currencies. These are the rules around all digital currencies, and that's what the industry is waiting for, to have regulations that we can follow and adhere to prove that everything is legal in an organized way. But I think it's quite interesting to see if these regulations are going to come from America, which is at the moment not the most crypto-friendly nation. There are definitely many countries that are more crypto unfriendly, but I think they're gonna have to make some big advancements in their regulation or the way they handle cryptocurrencies in general, cryptocurrency, digital cash, or cryptocurrency utilities for companies, because there are many other countries that are way ahead in terms of regulations. Singapore, Malta, Switzerland, and many other countries are way ahead at the moment. So in my opinion, they're going to have to step up their game, and otherwise they're also going to be left behind. So why GPM coin is in fact gained a critical reception from the industry when it launched earlier this year. Facebook has remained coy about its plans with unconfirmed media reports. We're going to look at that in a bit. But now for much interesting I'm saying that all the time. So the Bahamas central bank enters agreement to deliver first national digital currency by 2020, and this is actually very revolutionary. I think this is great. Central Bank of the Bahamas, CBOB, will enter an official agreement for development of digital fiat currency system on May 30. Local news agency the Nassau Guardian reports on May 29. Tomorrow, the CBOB will sign an official agreement with transaction provider NZIA.io in order to build and implement Project Sand Dollar. That's what they call it, the first digital currency in the Bahamas. And the Bahamian Central Bank first announced as its collaborator for the project in early March 2019 with Singapore-based software development firm Zynesis. The Project Sand Dollar initiative will be an integrated, affordable electronic payment system for all businesses and residents. The central bank said the project will comply with local financial regulations and aims to provide equal access to digital payments for the residents of the island country. And I think that's very good. I wonder how it's going to be backed. That's always a question with any cryptocurrencies, or what the asset value. But if maybe the government, since the fiat equivalent is probably also not backed, so it would, if basically probably backed just by trust, because the residents trust the government. So while the CBOB has still not announced the first selected islands to pilot the project, Bank Governor John Roll reportedly claimed that the institution expects to fully adopt the project for the family's islands by 2020. Earlier today, the president of Germany's bank, Deutsche Bundesbank, warned central banks about the potential risks of introducing digital currencies. The official said that the adoption of digital money could potentially destabilize the financial system and probably also ruin banking services and make it a bit less profitable to launder money, even though this is a bit cynical. I can't take that seriously when banks are against different cryptocurrency projects, because it's clear that the cryptocurrency blockchain as a whole will devalue and put banks that do not move in the same direction. They'll put them out of business, because competitive banks will be able to offer services on the blockchain which traditional banks won't be able to. So it's understandable that they're against different cryptocurrency projects, digital cash projects, and so on. But that's the same with credit card industries, credit card sector. They're also against cryptocurrency, or most of them are. So I take those allegations and critical opinions with a bit of cynicism because I just explained it. So Indonesia to improve its shipping industry with new multi-million-dollar blockchain project, and I think this is also great since it's not a digital currency based project, but more on shipping and supply chain management. And I think that's a massive industry, and it's always good to see more countries working to improve it because there's a lot of costs that can be saved by improving the supply chain, especially in the shipping part of the supply chain. So Singapore-based blockchain, as you can hear, Singapore is probably also one of those big players, countries which is favorable towards cryptocurrency and blockchain projects. It's I think it's compared to the crypto valley Switzerland. So let's get back on track. So Singapore-based blockchain firm PNP FinTech will participate in the multi-million logistics project in partnership with the government of Indonesia. According to a press release on May 29, we already got that, the new initiative is made in partnership with the Ministry of Trade in Indonesia and intends to transform the country's shipping industry, starting from Riau province, which is located on one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. So the project is a result of a new memorandum of understanding signed between PNP FinTech and major industry-related entities in the Indonesian city of Batam. And that's the largest city in the Riau Islands. So the MOU was signed, the memorandum of understanding was signed by Indonesian firm Central Distribusi Batam and the Agency for Free Trade Zone and the Free Port of Batam. The pilot stage will reportedly include the deployment of PNP FinTech's own blockchain protocol. So yesterday, two global shipping firms, Mediterranean Shipping Co. and CMA CGM, announced their entrance to the blockchain shipping platform TradeLens, developed by the world's largest logistics companies, Maersk, and tech giant IBM. So very good news. And that's about it. I always like news about new adoption and growth in different industries, which shows the diversity of blockchain as a whole, and I think that's fantastic. There's not much more to say, I just think it's fantastic. Now talking about IOTA, very good news from the Tango, and that is IOTA is finally killing off its centralized coordinator. And that was a big point that people didn't really like when talking about IOTA, and that's the centralization aspect of the of the coordinator, and that's being killed off in a Coordicide, if you catch the word. Never mind. After a ton of hints from the IOTA Foundation, a website detailing how the coordinator will be killed off in a Coordicide has been released on the 28th of May. Living up to their promise, the foundation promised the coordinator would be removed once they were certain the network would be able to sustain itself on existing hash power and then without milestones. So basically the coordinator was to make sure that everything is running properly, but they could also control a few things, which made the project a bit centralized. And IOTA's low hash rate is a direct result of the idea to build a payment network for the Internet of Things. No transaction fees and a low difficulty proof of work. Consensus mechanism are critical features that allow users to validate their own transactions from lightweight devices like phones and tablets. Details of the Coordicide. One of the biggest challenges of eliminating the coordinator and making it a truly decentralized peer-to-peer network is auto-peering. In its current state, a new node has to manually enter the address of a few existing nodes to peer with them and join a network. Auto-peering will push these new nodes into connection with existing nodes as soon as they join a network. So basically more of a automatic system to find new nodes, this is interesting. And rate control is another key issue which maintains the core function of IOTA. If the difficulty is too high, users from phones would take too long to compute their proof of work to validate their transactions. On the other hand, if the difficulty is too low, it encourages network spam and congestion. Yeah, because especially on smaller devices, you would have to basically wait until your transaction is put through. And if if the difficulty is too high, it would definitely take much too much time. And we're talking about even though here he's talking about phones, but if we talk about even smaller devices, which hopefully is the goal, to have very small devices either in cars and so on, then they will have to have maybe processing power much smaller than phones. So, and Sybil resistance is apparently proposed through a proof of ownership style mechanism. Nodes must prove their ownership of tokens, but also can delegate their ownership as mana to trustworthy nodes. This doesn't change the node's actual account balance, but allows them to reward trustworthy nodes for the service to the network. And that's everything's good. Everything's good. So I like the fact that they're moving away from a bit centralized Tango to a more decentralized Tango with a few new updates, which I like to see. I'm very happy about all the projects that they're doing, all the partnerships and the growth they've had. Even though if it's not reflected in the price, I'm sure they're gonna have a bright future. So as you can hear, I'm quite bullish on the whole IOTA project. Now, talking about projects, Facebook Libra, we know a little bit more about that, and Project Libra, everything we know about Facebook's cryptocurrency. The world's biggest social media company appears dead set on launching its own cryptocurrency, which makes much sense because they've got a huge user base, and Facebook has yet to announce plans publicly, but media reports on its crypto ambitions have emerged over the past 6 months, painting a partial picture of how the social network wants to capitalize on the blockchain technology. In short, a team led by former PayPal president David Marcus is building an asset-backed cryptocurrency, one designed to operate within the company's existing messaging infrastructure, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook Messenger. And I think it's very interesting, but it's probably going to be in their group of apps, and I don't think they're going to have the cryptocurrency be able to go outside of their ecosystem of applications, because they want people to spend the money and probably also earn fees. So I don't think it's going to be feeless. Well, let's see. Below is a rundown of what is known so far about Facebook's cryptocurrency. David Marcus, head of Messenger at Facebook, will be joining Coinbase board. Looking back at the first sign that Facebook was preparing to be serious, technology came back in 2017. At the time, Marcus was vice president for messaging products at Facebook, and Messengers and WhatsApp, which Facebook acquired in February 2014 for $19 billion. That's old news. And 2018, most importantly, the next clue that Facebook intended to take crypto seriously came in August 2018, when CoinDesk first reported that Marcus was leaving Coinbase's board. In December 2018, Bloomberg reported that Facebook intended to build a stablecoin. Stablecoins are a controversial kind of cryptocurrency because, it has to have a very good backing mechanism. And it can't just be like a Tether at the moment, which is being backed more or less by BTC and Ethereum and maybe other cryptocurrencies and a little bit of cash. Long thought to be impossible without excessive centralization, and perhaps even then they became one of the hottest forms of cryptocurrency last year. But I believe, even though, I'm not sure if they're gonna really create a truly decentralized cryptocurrency digital cash solution. I'm not really sure if Facebook is one to really decentralize this this digital cash, but it would be very interesting to find out. So at that time, Facebook's entry reported as a WhatsApp-centered product, primarily focused on India. Now, are there any other interesting? So Facebook's future is private, but also driven by payments and commerce. Another major development was Facebook's announcement of a pivot to privacy, fully articulated by CEO, where that's been probably because of all the bad news and data privacy problems they've been receiving, and court cases. I believe it should be easy to send money to someone as it is to send a photo. While not directly a cryptocurrency announcement, it does fit into the larger story because there are not many other options that they have. Cryptocurrency is probably the easiest for them to implement such a digital cash method. If this happens, however, end-to-end encrypted content will make targeted ads less feasible. By controlling a new kind of money, Facebook could establish monetizable experience that could make up for lost advertising revenue. It's worth remembering, though, that a full 98% of Facebook's $40 billion in revenue come from advertising in 2017. So yeah, if the advertising goes back, then it's not so good. So the rumors about Facebook seeking funding for the project first entered the public sphere in a tweet from Nathaniel Popper, a New York Times reporter. But apart from that, let's see if there are any other interesting news that we haven't had before. Beyond the global coin moniker, BBC reported that testing should begin by the end of this year, and the currency itself should roll out the first quarter of 2020. Borrowing from the playbook of the Asian e-commerce stablecoin Terra, the BBC story suggests Facebook will seek discounts from online retailers for customers who use global coin. This could be mutually beneficial. So maybe actually you can spend this global coin outside of Facebook, as this report says, and you might be even getting some kind of discount if you use it, maybe on Amazon or something like that. But it's going to be very interesting to find out. Unfortunately, it wasn't as much news as I would have hoped. I would have hoped a bit more information, but that's what we got. So I believe it's going to be some type of stable coin, maybe tied to the US dollar, maybe tied to something else, Facebook stocks, I don't know. And yeah, that's the news that we had. So that was it for today. And if you have any questions, you've got some feedback you want to leave, you've got some interesting news, don't hesitate to send it to me. You can also join the Instagram account that I made for this channel. I post some regular news and market updates and so on. So I'll put the link down below in the description. And I wish you a nice evening and enjoy the weekend. Have a great day. Bye bye.